ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजाः पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। I am so happy and delighted to be back with all of you. I am completely inspired by and enriched by your enthusiasm to hear Sundarakanda. Actually, it's the audience that gives energy, nourishment, and even inspiration to the speaker. Therefore, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear from time to time the audience will either raise a question or express an appreciation for the topic of discussion, not necessarily for the speaker always, and that's not what I'm looking for, but their own reflection of the glories of the Supreme Lord or the topic of his Vatsalya or his ability to protect and nourish his devotees or to remove them from difficult circumstances or to save their lives or to reciprocate with them is appreciated by the audience. And that inspires the speaker even further. So our topic of discussion obviously is Lord Ramachandra and Sita Devi. And as much the wonderful personality Sri Hanumanji, who is showing us as sadhakas what Dasya Bhakti stands on, what it is not, what are its characteristics, what are the features of a dasa or dasi, what are some inspirations, considerations in the face of service, and especially in the face of challenges in one's service. And sometimes there are great enjoyments that come in on the path of service, and how a servant approaches all of this. So in that sense, as sadhakas for us, Hanumanji is a great hero because he lays the standard for Dasya Bhakti. Where we are in Sundarakanda is still the first chapter. We've only done 4 verses. Hanumanji got off the great peak of Mount Mahendra and he surveyed the shoreline, and we discussed that. And now he's back on top of Mount Mahendra. And from that position, his gaze is about to turn towards Lanka. But before he does that, he needs to gather in himself the enough thrust or potential energy required to make that leap. And to do so, he's now with one knee on the ground and both his hands on the ground as well. His size is going to slowly increase, although Valmiki doesn't spell that his size is increasing. But by the description that we are all going to see, we will know that this is what he's about to do. He's going to press down on the mountain. And that great gigantic mountain, which is a favorite sporting place of so many entities, feels the weight of Hanumanji. And he's going to press it down further and further. And we'll hear description in the next session of the number of times he pushes down on that mountain peak. But right now, he's on top of that mountain. And as he is pressing down slightly, this is what's going on. And we'll hear what it means for us as the audience, what it means for us as practitioners, and what it means to enjoy the poetry of Valmiki, where he draws a picture that will paint, or he paints a picture on the canvas of our mind so we can see it. So as I share with you these verses, let's try and envision as much as we can, to whatever degree we can, envision and see the picture. So think of it that you are in a movie or you're watching a movie, and Valmiki Rishi, by his poetry and words, is drawing a picture for us to imagine. Okay. So here's share screen. All right. So this is verse number 5. This is Hanumanji. This is Hanumanji on top of Mount Mahindra. Neela lohita manjishtha patra varnai sita sitaihi swabhava vihitais chitrair dhatuvi samalankritam. Now, Valmiki Rishi is talking about the mountain. And this mountain seemed decorated. Samalankritam, completely decorated, or very beautifully decorated. By what? As Hanumanji is pressing down on the mountain, certain minerals that are there within mountains are getting exuded. If you've seen mountains, they have all these color streaks on them. And depending upon what mineral it is, it leaves a certain color of streak. So here are the different colors of streaks that his pressing down is pushing out the minerals, and those minerals are decorating the mountain. Neela, sometimes thought as blue or black. Lohita, red or iron. So manjishta, yellow. Patravarnai, green color. Sita, asitaihi. Sita means white and asita means black. So Neela in this sense would be blue. Swabhava vihitais chitra. Swabhava vihita, what is within the mountain, as if it's the nature of the mountain, is coming out. Chitraihi, very beautiful, decorative, attractive. Dhatubihi, minerals. Samalankrutam, the mountain is becoming decorated. I'm having trouble getting the There you go. So this mountain, which is actually a place for all the great personalities to come, as it is becoming decorated, it is saying, Valmiki is saying that there are all these personalities there. I'm going to combine these two verses. I'm just showing them so you can enjoy the poetry. Next verse, he says, Kamaropi Kamorupibhir avishtam abhikshanam saparichadaihi yakshkinnaragandharvair devakalpaischa pannagaihi. That there are these personalities such as yakshas, I'm in the third line, yakshas, kinnara, and gandharvais, and pannagai. Pannagai are the great snakes. So they're all the personalities that are on different planetary systems higher up in the realm of enjoyment. Pannagais are in the lower realm. Yaksha, Kinnara, and Gandharvas live on higher realms. And this mountain was visited by all these great persons. And not only they came, saparichadaihi, they came with their associates and their friends, families. They used to have, this was a destination party place. Abhikshnan means it was meant to be seen, or it looked like Deva Kalpaischa. They were enjoying on that mountain such delights that even rivaled what the demigods had in their heavenly realms. And each of these personalities, Yakshas, Kinnarva, Gandharvas, Pannagas, had a feature that they could take any form they desired. Kama Rupibhir Avishtam. Avishtam means to enter. Kama Rupibhir Avishtam means they can enter any form they like. And these are all residents of Mount Mahendra. Actually, Mount Mahendra is compared to the human body. And Hanumanji, as the sadhaka or the living entity, of course, playing the role of guru, but showing us how he has this realization that I am not this body, I'm separate from this body. And as he is preparing himself for this fantastic service, there are transformations in his body. Like we all see, as we are practicing bhakti yoga, we see transformations in our body. Now, ecstatic transformations by the grace of our spiritual masters and the Guru Parampara and the Supreme Couple, that may also happen. But right now, these are the transformations of what we hear in Nectar of Devotion, Kleshagni and Shubhada. That the unwanted distresses are becoming quelled. And a general sense of auspiciousness is manifesting. So within this mountain-like body, there exists a variety of aspirations, career aspirations, hobby aspirations, health aspirations, wealth aspirations, sport aspirations, whatever that is related to the body, some aspiration of, oh, I would like it to be like this. These aspirations are within us in the form of all these dhatus, minerals. And when by the process of sadhana, this body is, I'm going to say, pressed or put to the test, these minerals manifest. So each one of us, as a living entity, as we practice this, these colors will get exuded. So we get to see them. And he says, Samalankritam chitraihi. One is very beautifully decorated. And the idea of beauty here is not to see, oh, I have all these aspirations, which we may not like. But the beauty is that it is because of Hanumanji is pressing down on the mountain, we are able to see how much we are colored by all these aspirations. And the colors are Neela, Lohita, Manjushta, Patravarnai, Sita Sitaihi. All these minerals or aspirations are mixed within our gross and subtle body actually. And the process of anartha nivriti, because it is called nivriti, it means it has to come out, or we have to get rid of. And so all these aspirations are removed from this body. Yet, although one may get rid of aspirations, these aspirations are attraction places for different varieties of desires. Some higher desires, some lower desires that look like Yaksha, Kinnara, Gandharvai, and Pannagai. And they enjoy in this body. And they can take whatever forms. So my desire of lust or anger or illusion, all of that may look different from yours or anyone else's, because they can take any form they like. And all these desires, aspirations, and their concomitants, saparichhadaihi, their associates, we cannot identify one from the other, but they are enjoying almost heavenly like pleasures. Actually, when we are enjoying something, there is a common phrase to say, oh, this is heavenly, this is delightful. Or our suffering, we might say, hellish condition. We're not there, but we feel we are competing. Oh, such and such was a heavenly delight. This great meal was heavenly. It was like nectar. Or I still have a friend, but he used to have a car that was a huge SUV. And every time he would sit in that SUV, I would tease him. Oh, you look like Indra sitting on Airavata. So we compare to, or we relate to heavenly type pleasures. And the thing is, it's very hard to identify which desire is residing in my subtle body, because they are kama rupa bhi avishtam. They sit in different forms. It may look like one, but it may be completely something else. Something may look like humility, but it may not be. Something may look like pride. It may not be. Something may look like envy. It may be something else. Sometimes it may be. It may not be. They have transformative, not transformative, they have transforming capabilities in them. And Hanumanji is showing us the process of nivriti. And that pressing down on the mountain is his tivra bhakti, the intensity with which he presses down. And the intensity is a reflection of the goal that he has, the service mindedness. Actually, without the goal being very clear, without Lord Ramachandra or Sita's pleasure being very clear as the objective, our bhakti will not carry the same intensity. Only when the objective is clear, intensity has purpose and even some fuel to it. And we notice, any one of us can notice, whenever we've been inspired by a certain principle that makes the objective clear. Oh, I am a servant of Radha and Krishna. I'm a servant of Sita and Rama. I'm a servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. When that is clear, our bhakti has a certain intensity that we may be surprised by. On a day-to-day basis, if that purpose or goal isn't clear, the intensity doesn't have the same magnitude which otherwise it could have. So Hanuman Valmiki Rishi is showing us what is happening to this mountain. My mouse is not working. Okay. So then the references to this mountain. Sa tasya girivarasya tale nagavarayute tishtan kapivaras tatraha harade naga ivabhabhav. So whenever in Ramayana, in any scripture, in any book, you see the phrase Iva Abhabhav, means he was shining like this. Okay. And just a little hint, whenever the word Iva shows up in a verse, it means that the writer has a simile and is comparing that this person looked like this. So, sa tasya girivarasya tale. When Hanumanji was on the top, tala is the top of the mountain, girivarasya tale, naga varayute tishtan. Tishtan kapivarah tatraha. There, Hanumanji was tishtan, sitting. Now, when we say sitting, not sitting in Padmasana, because then he cannot catapult himself. He's sitting means with his one knee on the ground, the feet planted on the ground, and his hands on the ground. Hrade Naga Ivabhavav. He looked like this shining, majestic elephant. Naga has two meanings. One is elephant, the other is a snake. Now, different commentators translate the word Naga differently. The one we are going with is like an elephant. Hrade Naga Ivabhavav. He looked like a majestic elephant in the middle of a pond. And Naga Varayute. Naga Vara. Vara means the best of. The best of elephants, when they are herded together, Ayute, they are together. He looked like the best of the elephants in a herd of such best elephants. Now, elephants by nature are very heavy beings. And when an elephant is in a pond, you can see that it is very playful. Although it may not swim, it shines. And it's a very delightful vision to behold. So Hanumanji, on top of that mountain, was shining like a great elephant, which means sometimes we may consider that the process of anartha nivriti is very difficult. Yes, it is. And each one of us can write books about how difficult our anartha nivriti is, has been, or yet to come. Yet the delight is, the reveling is that one is becoming freed of the burden that one was previously carrying, but had no idea that one was carrying. So as that malady in the heart becomes visible, it becomes visible only when we are separate from it. Otherwise, it's not visible. Just as a person can see the body separate from oneself, which means the person is already relieved of the bodily encumbrances. Right? That's the verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 2. Chidyante hridaya granti, bidhyante sarva samkriyah, kshiyate chasya karmani, drishta eva atmani ishvare. One can see the soul, which means one is separate from the body. Here, because he is able to see and we are able to see our anarthas, is an indication that the process of becoming separate from the anartha is begun. And in that, there is a revel, there is a delight, because one becomes joyful when one is relieved. Generally, in the process of anartha nivriti, one becomes morose. Oh, I have so much lust, I have so much envy, I have so much pride, I have so much illusion, madness, and plus the whole mixture and the varieties of it. Because kama rupa bhi avishtam. Yet, one should be happy that Krishna, Guru, and the Parampara are helping us become relieved of these really nasty, yucky, sticky, smelly, dirty stuff by the very fact that we are able to see them. Now, what we do with it is a whole different ballgame. But assuming that we all are well-intentioned sadhakas, that we want to get to the other side, although we may fall and bruise our knees and elbows and chin and cheeks and all of that, yet the intention always is to get to the other side. Then Hanumanji is the Hrade Naga Ivabhabhav. Is rejoicing like an elephant in a pond. Then, what did Hanuman do? Sasuryaya Mahendraya Pavanaya Swayambhuve Bhutebhyascha Anjalim Kritva Chakara Gamane Matim. Hanumanji took this posture, Anjalim Kritva. This is Anjali Mudra. Anjalim Kritva. So with his body, he was in this posture of praying and seeking blessings. And in his mind, Matim Gamane Chakara, he had decided, or he was beginning to go, that in his mind, he had decided that I'm going to Lanka. And for him to get there, the desire is to get to Lanka, but between him and the destination, he needs a whole lot of blessings and empowerment. So he prayed to Sir Suryaya, to the sun god, Mahendraya, to Indra, Pavanaya, to the wind god, Vayu, Swayambhuve, Lord Brahma, Bhutebhya, all the other living entities, or all the associates of Lord Shiva. He prayed to them, and in his mind, he decided to go. I'm going to read you the commentaries. One may wonder, whoa, hold on a second. We hear so much, and I'm sure any one of us can pick up all these verses from Bhagavad Gita in chapter 7, chapter 3, even chapter 2, later 10, 11, 15, about, oh, why is one praying to demigods? So here Hanumanji is not praying to demigods. The distinction is offering respect to a demigod because of their exalted position in the universe in relation to the Supreme Lord is perfectly okay. But offering worship or respect to a demigod without proper vision of thinking of them as the Supreme Personality is not okay. And in this case, like any sadhaka, Hanumanji's first prayer is to Suryaya, to his spiritual master. Then he offered prayers to the host of demigods, indicating first that all spiritual aspirants need the blessings of the demigods. We don't have to pray to them separately or individually, but what it means is without their support, we may not progress in bhakti. Because we need the blessings, the empowerment of the demigods to fulfill the order given by our spiritual master. So he's seeking their benevolence in achieving his success, and nothing wrong. And now, as an individual sadhaka, we may or may not necessarily pray every day to the demigods, but just because Hanuman did it does not mean he should not do it, and does not also mean that we have to have a style of such. But if we notice carefully, by reading certain sections, let's say in the Bhagavatam or in the Ramayana, that talks about these demigods or their activities, this way or that way, we are learning from them some lesson. And that lesson helps us move on the path of bhakti without causing ourselves some impediments. Plus, we say that the spiritual master is the embodiment of all the demigods. We need the qualities of the demigods. Yasyasti bhakti bhagavati akinchana tatra sarvair surasate gunaha. Sarvair gunair tatra samasate suraha. All the qualities of the demigods, the cultured people, reside in the heart of or in the body of a devotee. Now, seeking the favor of certain great personalities in the universe is there even within our bhakti process. Srimati Radharani offered prayers to Surya Dev in near Surya Kund. But it's not whether one prays to the demigod. The question is what one prays for. So one should always pray for the grace of the Supreme Lord. One should always pray for being engaged in bhakti and nothing else. And that too, exclusive bhakti, not the mixed bhakti. Then there is gopis who took on this very special vrata called Katyayani Vrata in the peak of winter, to go before sunrise and bathe in the Yamuna river, in the very cold, frigid waters of Yamuna. Yesterday, I was looking at the temperature of Brindavan, because where I'm sitting, the weather was 44 degrees Fahrenheit. I was wearing my warm clothing and I was in a room that was heated. And Brindavan was 41 degrees Fahrenheit, which is less than 10 degrees Celsius. And people there don't have warm heated rooms or nice warm jackets. They wear a shawl, but they depend on the Supreme Lord. And what to speak that the whole night the Yamuna becomes cold, and early morning before sunrise, the gopis entered this frigid waters of the Yamuna in order to appease Katyayani Devi, so that they can say, please make Krishna our husband. And that's our prayer too. Please make Sri Krishna or the Supreme Lord our master. And may we serve them, Srimati Radharani and Krishna, Sita and Rama, whatever way we envision the supreme couple. When we begin to study of or recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, We say Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cha Eva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. We offer prayers to all varieties of personalities. Another is, in Hanuman's case, he is offering prayers to Surya Dev, then to Lord Indra. The reason for offering prayers to Lord Indra is Indra, as the king of the demigods, collectively made a prayer to Ramachandra. Please end Ravana and his entire retinue is causing distress to the entire universe. Hanuman's jumping is part of the to fulfill the promise that was made to the demigods. So he's seeking their well wishes. Then Pavana to his own father. And there are varieties of gurus or categories of gurus. We'll come to that. One is one's parents, one's Siksha gurus, and Mantra guru, the guru who gives mantra. All three categories of gurus are to be respected: seminal line and spiritual line. Ideally, they should converge in the same blessings. Sometimes the blessings are quite divergent and gets messy or convoluted, but ideally, without the blessing of one's parents, it's hard to progress in bhakti. And Swayambhuve, Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is the chief architect of the universe. And that Lord Brahma is the one who prays and invites the Supreme Lord to come into the universe again and again and again. His blessings are very, very important. And Bhutebhyascha. The Bhutas are the associates of Lord Shiva who can cause impediments. And so that there is nothing inauspicious in his activities that he does. So he's seeking that they don't cause impediments. In a commentary called Dharmakutam, it tells us that what Hanumanji is doing is reciting Mangala Charana prayers. We begin our day with Mangalarti. And for those who are initiated into mantra, Gayatri mantra, we have to perform that as a Mangala Charana 3 times a day. At the beginning of a day, in the middle of the day, at the end of the day. So Dharmakutam says that Mangala Charana should be performed before an activity, in the middle of an activity, and at the end of an activity. And so Hanuman is also doing this. So he is about to embark on his monumental service. So the initial prayers are Mangala Charana prayers. So this is called Adi Mangala. And Hanuman is a very, very learned person. Then when we reach the 13th chapter of Sundara Kanda, we will see that Hanuman makes a prayer there also. So that's right in the middle of it. And after his success in finding Sita Devi, in the 17th chapter, he offers another prayer again. That is also considered Mangalacharan. So that's why he is offering these prayers. So we'll go back to the verses. Oops. Sharing, sorry. Okay, so then next verse. Continuing in his posture of folding his hands, Anjalim Pran Mukha Kritva Pavanayatmayonaye Tato he Vavridhe Gantum Dakshino Dakshinam Disham. Pran Mukha Kritva. Mukha means to face. Pran Mukha is facing the eastern direction. So he's now facing the eastern direction. Pavanaya Atma Yonaye, the one who is the son or self, son of uh, Vayudeva. Tato hi vavridhe gantum. Vavridhe gantum means he is now getting ready uh, to expand himself. And dakshino dakshinam disham. He turned right towards the southerly direction. Dakshino dakshinam disham. By turning right. So he made a right turn. And now he's facing southern direction. Plavanga pravarair drishtaha. Plavane कृतनैश्चयः. प्लवने कृतन इश्चयः. ववृधे राम वृद्ध्यर्थम samudra eva parvasu. Very beautiful verse. And all of what he is doing has only one intention and purpose. Ram vridhya artham. In any yagya or in any puja, every day before our japa, we are meant to recite a sankalpa. Artham. Why I am doing what I am doing. So if I'm conducting a wedding ceremony, if I'm conducting a certain puja of Abhisheka, we are meant to say Lakshmi Narsimha Deva Abhivruddhyam or Lakshmi Narsimha Prityartham, for their pleasure. I'm doing this for their pleasure. See Srita Rama Prityartham. Radha Krishna Prityartham, for their pleasure. Rama Vridhya Artha. Rama Vridhyartham, for the benefit of Lord Ramachandra. Vavridhe, he is expressing, he is praying to be able to fulfill his mission, which is to please Lord Ramachandra, to make the benefit for Lord Ramachandra. And Vavridhe means his size is increasing as he is turning right towards the southern direction. His size is increasing, and the more he is thinking Rama Vridhi Artham, his size is going on increasing. And how is his size increasing? Samudra Iva Parvasu. Remember the word again, Iva means just like. Just like Samudra, the ocean swells during each fortnight. Parvasu. We say a fortnight, a period of 2 weeks, or between the full moon and new moon, that 15-day period is called a parva. So within that parva, the sea swells up. So Hanuman's size is swelling up, becoming bigger and bigger, like the ocean that increases its size each fortnight with each phase of the moon. And Valmiki Rishi refers to Hanumanji as Plavanga Pravarair Drishta. Plavanga are all the monkeys, jumpers, right? Plavanga means to go by jumping or swinging. Plavanga Pravarair, all the best of them, they are there. Drishta, they're all looking at Hanumanji, Jambavan, Angada, Nala, Neela, Gavaksha, Gandhamadana, Dvainda, Dvivida. They're all there. They're all the best of the lot. And they are looking at Hanuman. And as they are watching him, his size is going on increasing. Then, Nish Pramana Sharira, San Leelanghaya Surar Arnavam. Bahubhyam pidayamasa charanabhyam cha parvatam. I'll share this verse with you. I think you'll like it. Oops, I don't have it for you today. Here's the verse. Nishpramana Sharira. We all know the word pramana. Pramana means to give evidence or to be able to estimate something. You estimate something by your senses or by vision. You estimate something by deduction or inference. And then you estimate something by hearing. Something that you can estimate is called prameya. And something that you cannot estimate is called aprameya. So the Supreme Lord is called aprameya, one who cannot be estimated by one's mind or intelligence. Similarly, Hanuman is called aprameya in a different way. Nishpramana, that his size was becoming so big that it was not easy to estimate. It cannot be estimated. Nishpramana shariraha. Not sharira, shariraha. His size was becoming so big, inestimable size. Sun, Lilanghaya, Lilanghi Surarnavam. That body was becoming ready for jumping across this great ocean. Ishura Arnavam. Ishu Arnavam. He was deciding, sorry, I'm breaking the words differently. Let's try again. Sam Lilanghai Ishu Arnavam. Lilanghaya means to jump. Ishu is to decide. Arnavam, this ocean. Then what did Hanuman do? Bahubhyam Pidayamasa. Pidayamasa means to press or to crush. Bahubhyam, with both his hands. Charanabhyam, with both his feet. Parvatam cha. So he was pressing down with his hands and feet on the mountain very, very hard. Having swollen to an immeasurable figure, he pressed on the mountain with his feet and hands while having a desire to jump across the ocean. So his desire, his intention is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. This is a lesson for how to have our sankalpa become more and more intensified. And that sankalpa becomes intensified in conjunction with a tivra, an intense or a strong process of sadhana, with the blessings of all the superiors, such that there are no impediments in our sadhana bhakti. And what look like impediments are great opportunities to come face to face with our own internal impediments. Of course, on a day-to-day course of life, there are impediments. And we'll see Hanumanji on his path, there are impediments. But this gives hope. This gives us a roadmap. This gives us an inspiration. And a sort of enthusiasm to become determined, joyful, and envisioning the goal that we want to achieve, a life of service. Okay, let me see if there are any reflections, comments, questions, something did not clear. In one or two verses, I broke the verse differently. Sorry, I got a chance to correct it, but if you need more, I'd be happy to look at it.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Kirti here. Thank you for nice class. Are you able to hear me, Prabhu?
Oh, yes, loud and clear.
While you were narrating the pastime of Hanuman performing his service where he was pressing down the mountain, it appears that it was causing disturbance to all the residents of the mountains, the
Yes.
higher living cities. So how to understand this meaning? while performing devotional service, is this like collateral damage?
No. These are all to be taken as a pictorial description of anartha nivritti. That's it. Not that Hanuman, of course, other as he is growing in size and crushing, all the animals are shrieking and running away. Sure, when in the course of living on this planet, our actions have some effects on others. Sure, but it doesn't justify what we call collateral damage. It's okay. For that matter, the very act of plucking a vegetable from the ground or cutting something from the tree or cooking something has effects on other living entities. Jivo jivasya jivanam. Yes, that's true. But Hanuman's thing is not to be justified that hey, that's what happens. If that's the question, no, is not a justification.
Thank you, Prabhu.
All right, someone else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanavad Pranam.
Keep going.
Very nice class, Prabhu. Whenever I listen Ramayana from you, it takes me in different meaning, different approach. I never listen Ramayana in this version, whatever you are. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
One thing I wanted to understand, Prabhu, like as you in the very beginning of the class, you told that like Hanumanji has to cross the ocean, and he was taking the momentum by pressing the Mahendragiri Parvat. And after that, all the like the explanation based on that only. But we see Prabhu like in the last also we told lot of impediments came in the way of the Hanumanji, like Sursa and Singhi, Rakshasni, and actually Hanumanji, whatever he got the momentum, and he was totally stopped, and he was talking to Sursa, and once upon a time he was caught by Singhi, and there is a fight happens, and he killed Singhi also, that Rakshasni. So there he didn't take any momentum, and he simply he continued. Then in a starting, he is going, and before jumping, before takeoff, he is pressing and getting energy and becoming bigger size and all. But on the way, when he was stopped, nothing happened. He something obstructions came, and after that, simply he moved away. Then what is the significance? Is like spiritual significance. In the beginning, a lot of explanation happened. Like as you explained, all the classes based on that one. He is taking the bigger size, and all the minerals came out. And what is the need of that? He can simply fly. He is a Pavan Putra. He is very light. He can simply fly. Then what is the meaning of this?
Yeah, he can simply fly. There's no problem. And he even says, when I 100 yojanas, not a problem. If I go to Lanka, I don't see Sita without stepping my foot on the ground. I can go to the heavenly planets and search for her. But Valmiki,
Yes,
Valmiki is making it important for us also. There are Valmiki is the previous Vyasadeva who has to make sure that the audience gets very important life lessons. The entire Vedanta, the Upanishads, the four Vedas, everything is packed into the narration of Ramayana in the storyline. And if you watch carefully, certain times he will say, certain times he will not say. And we are meant to extract. Thank God the acharyas have spent time commenting on it so we can relish. Otherwise, it's just a story. Yes, He could have just, what they're teaching us is, for success there, the basics are very important. One cannot become an established or an expert in bhakti without fundamentals being properly taken care of. And this is the pathway Rupa Goswami has also given us, that without sadhana you cannot have bhava, raga and all that. There has to be sadhana. Vaidhi sadhana brings raga, bhava and prema. And so even the great devotees who are by nature never have to follow any sadhana, they themselves will follow a path of sadhana. That is important. Hanuman doesn't need it, but is showing us. Of late, my wife and I have been discussing and relishing, she particularly, and so she's sharing the life of Narottam Das Thakur. And so Narottam Das Thakur got Krishna Prema deposited in the Padma River. Actually, it is, anyway, I don't want to get to the details of it, of what it is, but that Narottam Das Thakur, who by birth was such a great personality, did very menial service for his Guru Maharaj. Loknath Goswami did sadhana bhakti, so that we all can say, yeah, sadhana is the way. It's an important roadmap that Hanumanji is doing and Valmiki is narrating for us. And because that initial sadhana was so strong, even later when there are impediments, he can get through it without a problem. Something I learned from my spiritual master is, whenever there is a problem in one's life, rather than fixing the very immediate issue that we think is the problem, he would always say, go back to the basics and fix the basics. The hearing and the chanting and the sankalpa. Fix that, the impediments will vanish or become easier to surmount. So that initial preparation and jump is what is important. Okay, Chandan Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Understood, Prabhu. The small mind cannot understood. Thank you.
All right, Santana Gopa Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the excellent presentation. Yes, am I audible, Prabhu?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Actually, that's comparing the Hanuman's posture with the sadhana bhakti is really very nice. Really, I really relished it. But all these things, but by reading the verse, it looks very simple. But you are just interpreted in such a way how it helps the sadhana bhakti. But all these things have been, these commentaries, where did you get from this spiritual literature, Prabhu?
There is not one, Prabhu.
Or it is your own interpretation?
Oh, I wish. I haven't gotten that far. Someday maybe, but not right now. I am like a, you know what is called quilt? A quilt is what you put together by pieces of cloth that you get here and there. So I've been studying for 6-7 years now, and different places. Of course, there's so many different acharyas. A little bit I hear anywhere here and there. My greatest inspiration comes from Rupa Goswami's Nectar of Devotion, by studying of Bhagavatam for all these years, Bhagavad Gita, and somewhere little pieces, I get a chance to put together, and hearing from my spiritual master in the yatras, and then little commentaries come my way, and it's not that it's like this. Somehow, by the grace of the deities and Hanumanji, it seems to come together. But it is someone else's realizations. I'm just like a parrot repeating it.
But this Magendra mountain, is it present in the southern shore now?
I mean, there is a place called Mahindra Giri, although it used to be a lot bigger, but by Hanuman's crushing it, it became like sand. So technically it doesn't exist per se, but it's been so many millions of years. So things can get accumulated, but there is a place called Mahindra Giri. But technically it doesn't exist.
Vivekananda Rock Memorial is there. Vivekananda Rock Memorial is there.
Actually, we will hear as Hanumanji presses down. This is only the first time. 6 more times he's going to press down, and he's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And that too, the size we cannot estimate. So the mountain is going to become like powder under his crushing it.
So it vanished at that time itself. Right. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Very nice. Very thank you.
Hanumanji's grace. Anything else? Go ahead, Sthira.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I didn't have a question, but 2 things that stood out to me from the class, I just wanted to share for it to go for me. One is when you said without the blessings from the bloodline, one cannot progress in one's bhakti. So being more grateful to the parents for giving life, and then whatever one is as important as being grateful to the disciplic succession for giving the second birth.
Sure.
And the second point that stood out for me was the Mangala Charana prayers. I have heard it multiple times for you, but then it went a little deeper, that when it's important, like Hanumanji is doing, to like in the beginning of a service, in the middle, and at the end, to bring back the focus to the sankalpa and be grateful and seek for mercy and blessings. So thank you so much for reiterating this for my benefit. Thank you.
Thank you for the reflection. Really nice. Anyone else? All right, counting down 3, 2, 1. Okay. We meet again next week, where Hanumanji is now going to show us how to practice our sadhana bhakti with more and more determination, intensity. And the intensity is not in the physicality of it, but the intensity is in the subtle body, in the mind or in the heart, where that determination is strong. And if there are impediments, Anjalir Pran Mukha, turning east, meaning he's turning in the direction of his guru and seeking empowerment to overcome any difficulties or obstacles. So whenever there is a difficulty, one can or should remember one's spiritual masters and seek their blessings and empowerment to overcome that difficulty. Sometimes the difficulty may not go, but that doesn't mean that the empowerment is not working. What it means is we get enough strength to not be crushed by or discouraged by the difficulty. That's what we will see in Hanuman's case as well. And so he's our hero. We seek his blessings, that we follow along in his path, and we pray for a tiny mustard seed worth of grace from him, because that will be more than enough for us to handle what we have to handle. And if he desires to give more, we're very happy to receive. but a loving glance from him would be very, very meaningful and worthwhile. Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki Jai, Shri Hanuman Ji ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.